So in New York, classic slice is gonna be about $3.50. I'm skipping over the dollar slices because you don't really need that in your life. You get a couple toppings, maybe it's $5, but I've never seen a slice as expensive as the one I'm about to show you, and it's over $20. We're on Howard Avenue in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn at Cuts and Slices. Not typical topping combinations on pizzas. All the black labels are the poultry, red labels are the beef, green labels for the seafood. The most expensive slice they have here, and the one I'm gonna order today, is all the way at the end of the counter, closest to the cash register. It's the lobster and shrimp black truffle Alfredo slice. Looks good. Oh wow, look at that oozing. Looks oozing, right? The Alfredo trickling down. Before I get into the toppings, first I gotta say, looks like it's gonna be a great dough. A long cold fermentation dough. You can tell because of all this micro blistering. You can tell it's well fermented and well stretched because of the big open crumb structure. Lobster, shrimp, Alfredo, black truffle slice. Oh, like 85 cents worth of shrimp. I get nervous with seafood on pizza because it's so easy to overcook something like shrimp. And not only does this pizza get cooked with the shrimp, it then goes in for a reheat. So they really got to nail it, and they did. Because it's not tight and rubbery. Let's get to the real exciting part, the lobster. This is what makes this an over $20 slice. My first bite with the lobster. I've never had lobster that had char on the top of it. That's really something. Whoa. I feel like I'm at a barbecue and somebody threw a lobster right on the grill. It gets that char. Look, it's not every day of the week you're gonna get a slice that's over 20 bucks, but when you're treating yourself right, I have not a complaint in the world. Where can I get a classic orange slice? And that's such a weird term that I hear from people. And what they mean is a slice where mozzarella melts into the sauce and you get this kind of orange look. That's exactly what I'm looking at right here. We're at Amore in Flushing, Queens. So that right there is what some people call an orange slice. A snap you can hear from space, a cheese to sauce ratio that's so perfect it passes the vertical hold test. This might be my perfect Queens slice. By definition, a New York slice is gonna get reheated. But that doesn't mean you've gotta eat an old dried out slice. I'm gonna walk you through the case and show you what I would look at to determine the freshness of a slice. You see this? Condensation, Exhibit A. Old pies do not exhibit condensation above them in the rack. When you're looking at the display and you see condensation, that's a fresh pie. Exhibit B, you look down on the counter and there is a whole unsliced pie. Freshest and the most popular pizzas are usually the ones closest to the cash register. It's because this way, it doesn't have to take too many steps to go and get it for the customer. So you always look for the closest pizza to the cash register. Those are the most popular. On the pie itself, you will still see a glossiness on top. When the pie dries out and loses its moisture, you're gonna start to see two things change. One, you're gonna lose the glossiness on top. And two, you're gonna start to see the points of all the slices start to curl up. When the tip is doing a flip, you gotta skip. The most popular pizzas are gonna be the ones that are a full tray. So when I see a tray that's like half one style of pizza and half another, those are the ones that have been sitting out a little longer because it's two pizzas consolidated. And at the end of the day, your slice is gonna get reheated anyway. So a nice trick to get a little moisture back into it is just ask them to put a little bit of extra sauce on top of the slice before the reheat, and then you'll get a juicy slice. Now, the issue with this pizza is if you go to grab a slice and pick it up vertically, since it's a Neapolitan pizza and it's kind of wet on top, you're gonna lose cheese and sauce. To just go to the edge, and you can use a fork or a knife or something, and just do a little wrist twist, and then you're gonna perform the snag and drag maneuver. So don't pick up the slice, just drag it from the crust onto the plate, snag, drag, and then you're gonna be delighted, and you'll have a wonderful life. How does a 15-year-old pizzeria have a 100-year-old pizza oven? So in the inside, it looks like a pretty typical slice shop. But what is more interesting about it is that when you look at the oven, you'll notice that it's an arch-shaped opening. It shows you that it's a wood-burning oven. But when you look to the right of the opening, you see an iron door. And that's because this oven originally was built in 1925 as a coal-burning bread oven. If you go all the way behind the building, you can see the old oven. The way that they used to build these ovens is either in the basement, like as part of the foundation of the building, or they would be built as a structure off the back of the building on the ground floor. So this whole structure was put in 1925. It became a bread bakery, and then it became quiet at the end of the 1900s. And in 2000, this place became a pizzeria, built the wood-burning oven into the front of the coal-burning oven. So even though what they use to this day at Best Pizza is a wood-burning oven, that wood-burning oven exists inside an old 1925 coal-burning oven. What you just ate at Keste was 70% hydration. They use a mixture of 2 different types of flour. 20% of that flour mix is a flour called Tipo Uno. It's a flour that has a lot of bran in it. That bran soaks up a lot of water, and that's how they're able to get a 70% hydration dough. It might happen today. Somebody might say, oh, well, you know, my dough is 90% hydration. That means that there's a lot of water in it. But that also means that your next question should be, well, what type of flour are you using? Because not all flour absorbs water the same.